What's going on YouTube? Josh here checking in. So today we're going to talk about the question of, should I compete in a powerlifting meet? You know, maybe you've been training for some time, you've been getting stronger, and you're thinking about doing it, but you're not sure if you're ready. So basically, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of intimidating deciding to do your first powerlifting meet. I remember when I made that decision a little over a year ago, I was really nervous about it. I'm not gonna lie, I was very nervous. So, the question is really, when are you ready for that? And, you're probably not gonna really ever feel so ready unless you're naturally super strong, in which case you probably don't even need to be watching this video. But if you've been lifting for some time, maybe you've got a year or two of solid strength training and you're getting stronger, you're making progress, you're thinking about competing. So honestly, I wouldn't really stress too much about your numbers. If you're really weak, you might want to consider getting stronger before you compete in a powerlifting meet, obviously. So what would I consider to be like maybe a reasonable standard to think about competing? Now, I'm just going to talk about some numbers for guys, just because I'm less familiar with the female lifting numbers. But honestly, you can go online and you can look at the records and look at the results from local meets and kind of just see where you would be at. Honestly, placing isn't really that important. It just, maybe you don't want to always be the guy coming in dead last, just because it's kind of doesn't make your ego feel very good, as much as the placing doesn't matter. You don't want to lose all the time. So that would be a good place to start. You can look at local results. But for guys, if you're maybe like a 165 or 181 plus, if you're like in that weight range, I just know that because that's the weight classes that I compete in, you probably want to be totaling, going into the meet, planning for over 1,000 pound total as your first meet. Preferably 1,100 plus would be even better, but anything under like 1,000 pounds in the 181 or 165 is kind of, you're probably not ready for your first powerlifting meet. But honestly, you don't need an elite total. People think that you need to be this super strong person to compete in powerlifting, and it's just not the case. Most people who compete in powerlifting are average at best. They are nowhere near the elite level. You see videos online of guys like Dan Green and Andre Milanichev and, top lifters. You see Johnny Candido, like these guys who are super strong. And then I feel like there's this perception that in order to compete in powerlifting, everybody is beastly strong. And that's certainly not the case. Most local meets, there are going to be strong people there for sure, but the majority of the lifters are nowhere near that elite level. So you don't need to be like massively strong to do your first powerlifting meet. One thing that I will say for sure, before doing your first powerlifting meet, one advice is to make sure that your form is down pretty good, right? You're not going to have picture perfect form if you've only been lifting for 1 or 2 years, but you don't want any major issues in your form, just because once you start competing in powerlifting, you tend to be even more focused on the numbers. So, if you're starting from a place that's maybe not the best form-wise, and then now you start competing in powerlifting where, you want to be going from here to there, right, with your numbers, you want to be making some serious progress, you have the risk of kind of forgetting about form and worrying too much about the numbers. So that's my only real advice. But basically, you don't need to be super strong to compete in powerlifting. That's the video, guys. Hope you liked it, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Peace!